Bang Theory, tonight at 6 and 6:30 on CW 39 Houston.
This is a place where I have a lot of memories, a lot of fond memories, and some of my best memories were in Houston. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm interacting with great colleagues, and we're having a good time.
CW 39 Houston presents Veterans Voices, honoring those who have served. Presented by Whataburger and Texans Turf.
Hello and welcome to Veterans Voices, a special dedicated to honoring the brave men and women who've served in our military.
We'll hear powerful stories, share experiences, and spotlight those who fought so bravely for our country.
As we highlight veterans of all branches of the military, let us first begin with the history of the military in the state of Texas.
The Lone Star State has a long history with the armed forces. For starters, Harris County has the largest veteran population in Texas. The Texas Military Department dates back to 1835 when the Texas Army fought for independence from Mexico during the Texas Revolution.
And through the years, Texas Military Department grew to 3 branches: the Army and Air National Guard and State Guard. The National United States Armed Forces Museum here in Houston highlights the sacrifices of every soldier in all 6 branches of the military, from the Coast Guard to Space Force.
The Armed Forces Museum is open to the public, and you can visit from 10 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon, Wednesdays through Fridays, and from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends. If you'd like to buy tickets, or if you'd like to see if there are any upcoming events at the Armed Forces Museum, go to the website that's on your screen right now. And if you talk to business leaders, they'll tell you they like to hire military service men and women because of the specialized skill sets and discipline they gained in the armed forces.
That's true, and CW 39's own Chief Meteorologist Jonathan Novak introduces us to one veteran whose contributions reach far and wide when it comes to monitoring our weather systems.
For the Navy, I was an electronics technician of communications for submarines. So my main goal was to maintain the radio communications, and we also worked on all the masts and antennas.
Navy veteran Carl Helm says it was his job to listen for different signals to detect different types of radar. That's determined by a combination of metrics such as pulse and frequency. He says it's specialized skills like these that contribute to his career growth today.
My military time has helped tremendously to make it into the National Weather Service. It's not a typical set of skills that they teach inside of a schoolhouse or a college, but neither is a lot of the military. And the biggest goal between that is translating what you did in the military to an outside application. And the military is probably the closest to the government side on those applications. The short time I've been with the Weather Service, I could see how there has been longevity with everyone who works here, and a lot of veterans who come in here want to stay. It is a unique group and a fun group to work with, and you do learn a lot. Not every day is the same.
And as new talent comes on board, a top leader at the National Weather Service is celebrating a milestone. Dan Riley is retiring after 30 years with the agency. Most recently, he was the warning coordination meteorologist and spent 14 years in the Houston-Galveston office.
I'm going to miss those partnerships, those friendships with all the partners we work with, emergency managers, Coast Guard, industry, schools, media. Really retiring to spend more time with family.
He reflects about the most memorable weather events during his time in Southeast Texas.
It was probably Harvey because it was such catastrophic flooding across the Houston area. For days we were briefing this catastrophic flood as it was coming in. It really hit home the impacts Harvey was having on people.
Riley says he wants to continue helping his community and plans to stay active and involved in the weather world.
Well, there we had a veteran working with a government agency, but lots of vets also own their own businesses. And to support those veteran businesses, there's a Houston Regional Veterans Chamber of Commerce. The chamber provides resources and all sorts of community supports. To find out more about that and to see a list of veteran-owned businesses in our area, go to their website, which is HOUveteranschamber.org.
We love our veterans. My father was a veteran. My uncles, 4 of them are, of course, in the military and veterans. My grandfather was a veteran, and same in your family too, right?
Both grandparents, World War II veterans. I wish I knew more of their stories. If you have vets in your life, go ahead and find out now what they went through and how they bravely served our country. You know?
Yeah, it's incredible. And coming up, we explore the controversies within the military and how a local therapy group helps female veterans who experience sexual violence while in the armed forces.
And that's not all. We'll also have the story of a veteran who's sharing his journey through darkness after he tried to take his own life. Those stories and more are still ahead.
Veterans Voices, presented by these fine sponsors. Looking for an affordable way to dramatically transform your yard plus increase the value of your home? Texans Turf brings beauty to every space, from putting greens to play areas for your children and the family dog. Texans Turf holds up to Houston's weather and eliminates watering, mowing, and fertilizing. No more mud, always clean, always green. Texans Turf is Houston's top-rated artificial grass specialist, rated 5 stars in Google. Commercial or residential, no project is too big or too small. Texans Turf, Houston's top-rated artificial grass specialists.
I'm Barbara, and I'm from St. Joseph, Michigan. I'm a retired school librarian. I'm also a library board trustee, a mother of 2, and a grandmother of 2. About 5 years ago, I was working full-time. I had an awful lot of things to take care of. I saw the commercials for Prevagen. I started taking it, and it helped. I noticed my memory was better. There was definite improvement. People say to me, Barbara, you don't miss a beat.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Why is TXU Energy Season Pass one of our most popular plans? Because you automatically save 50% on energy charges all winter and summer.
50% off all winter helps me stay warm and toasty.
It's easy when you can save hundreds a year.
And 50% off all summer keeps me cool when it heats up.
Sure does.
Check it out.
Cold or hot, you always save a lot.
Season Pass is one smart move. High five.
TXU Energy. Energy for everything.
This week on CW Football Saturday. Kyle McCord powers Syracuse against Fernando Mendoza and Cal. That is a touchdown. CW Football Saturday. Live this week at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Veterans Voices special. As we celebrate our vets, we also need to remember that many of them experience trauma.
And for some female vets, it's sexual trauma. I sat down with Andrea Tanner, director of the Houston Southwest Vet Center, to talk about a therapeutic service that helps these soldiers called Camouflage Women.
Well, we started the Camouflage Women many years ago. I was initially in Lawton, Oklahoma with the Lawton Vet Center, and one of the needs that we saw was needs for women who've experienced military sexual trauma. And so we came up with the name Camouflage Women, and one of the reasons why is because we were women. We want to continue to encourage them, empower them, enrich them about, when I say that, I mean just really educate about sexual trauma. We go through trauma but not understand what that entails. We know what we go through, we know the symptoms that we may have, but not how to deal and cope with it.
That is significant. But also the tragic portion of this is that there are a number of women, female veterans and females who are in the military who have unfortunately received some type of sexual trauma.
Yes, that's exactly. You know, a lot of people call it the invincible war. And the suffering in silence, I'm going to say no more, but that was a time. Women serving in the military, a lot of times they think, well, I have to suck it up and drive on. Nobody wants to hear me. And then you deal with a lot of self-blame. What is it that I did wrong? What could I have done differently? Those type of things, and we understand that that's not the case. It's not their fault. But unfortunately, that may have been the tagline back then. You know, a lot of times it's fear. And we understand that fear is just false evidence appearing real, and that's something that we really reiterate. Just give the Vet Center a chance. We're different. Listen to our voice. The majority of our workers or our employees who are licensed clinicians are veterans. We've been there and we have done that. And so from every step of the way, we understand.
And there are actually 3 vet centers here in the Houston area that can help any vet dealing with trauma. The Houston Southwest Center, the Houston West Vet Center, that's the location in Spring, and one in Beaumont. And if you need help, please get it. Go to www.va.gov or call the local vet center at 713-523-0884.
Well, now to the story of a Navy veteran who once faced the darkness of suicidal thoughts. He has since turned his life around, and he's now a beacon of hope for others.
CW39 Houston's Paige Hubbard lets us know about the nonprofit organization he founded that's dedicated to supporting veterans and first responders who are in crisis.
Whenever I got out of the military, I ruined every relationship that I had. Anyone that cared about me, I broke them intentionally. It was a pretty hard time. I just didn't want to live in this world.
The decision to join the Navy was an easy choice for Taylor Greger.
I was on the swim team, and I was a lifeguard in high school, and I thought that, I had a gift, and I wanted to be able to use swimming to help other people.
But the challenges he faced after being stationed in Guam for 6 years became too much of a burden to bear.
It was like coming back from a world of darkness and death all the time. That's all you'd see back here in this world. You're expected to fall back into going to church and living in this beautiful life and starting a business and stuff. And that doesn't work after you spend that much time overseas and seeing how dark and disgusting the world actually is.
Believing there were no other options, Taylor decided he wanted to take his own life. So he got into his car, put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger, but the gun jammed.
All I could think about was picturing my good buddies crying by themselves in pain, and thinking that they didn't have anyone that cared about him, anyone that wanted to see him alive again, and that broke my heart.
After hitting rock bottom, sailing helped remind Taylor that life is worth living. To help other veterans and first responders navigate troubled waters, he launched a nonprofit called Skeleton Crew Sailing. It offers 3 different adventure therapy programs that take passengers sailing across the country to help heal and spread hope.
I think that's the biggest thing I try to explain to people is like what we do as a nonprofit and trying to help people not kill themselves is like rescuing bodies in Guam.
Taylor hopes his journey from despair to empowerment highlights the importance of community and connection and will assist others in overcoming life's toughest challenges.
They know you don't have to live in pain anymore. It's a thing of the past. There is an option to get better. There's an option to live and be a successful member of our country again.
Us and doing what he's doing. On your screen now are some resources that are available to veterans who are struggling with their mental health. Now the statistics, they're pretty alarming. Veterans are twice as likely to die from suicide compared to non-veterans. And back in 2019, the American Journal of Preventive Medicine reported that 68% of veterans who committed suicide that year used a gun to end their lives. In addition to those on your screen, we have more mental health resources for veterans on our website, CW39.com.
Well, a Navy veteran is also inspiring others through her breast cancer journey.
And coming up, how she says she turned her challenges into motivation for other veteran women.
I am coming after everything you have ever loved.
We'll get through this like we always do, as a family.
This time I want to watch Superman die with my own eyes.
You're not ready to face that thing.
Not bad for a dead guy.
Superman and Lois. New episode tonight at 8/7 Central on the CW. Do you have Medicare and suffer with knee pain? Have you been told you have arthritis and that risky knee surgery with a lengthy recovery is the only answer? Well, stop everything and call the number on your screen, because Arthritis Knee Pain Centers has a non-surgical procedure that can eliminate your pain without surgery or downtime. Plus, it's covered by Medicare and most private insurance. Our doctors use an advanced image-guided procedure to restore natural lubrication and cushioning in your knees, to relieve your pain and restore your mobility without surgery or downtime. Many patients report relief after the first visit.
I'm not having any pain. My knee's not like sticking. It's just wonderful.
And after the first injection, I knew it was going to work.
Remember, it's covered by Medicare and most private insurance. So call Arthritis Knee Pain Centers now and schedule your no-charge, no-obligation knee pain screening. Call 800-507-2106. That's 800-507-2106.
And welcome back once again to Veterans Voices. Lots of us have loved ones who are veterans who are getting a little older in our lives. Well, taking care of them as they experience the effects of aging is essential, but not all of us know just how to do it. I talked to a local home care provider about the signs you should be looking for, but also what you should do when you see them.
We do put an emphasis on veterans care at this office.
The Office of Griswold Home Care West Houston provides a variety of services to help people stay in their homes as they get older. Many of their customers served our country.
We knew we wanted to support veterans, so that's near and dear to my heart. My dad was a proud veteran, and that's something that I've always been interested in, helping those that can help themselves, but especially the veterans.
When aging veterans in your life become unable to help themselves, the co-owners of this Griswold Home Care branch want to help you see the signs and do something about it.
So a family member can identify different signs. Maybe a loved one isn't taking their medications on time. Maybe they're having trouble getting up and down. Maybe they're having trouble getting out of bed or get into bed in the evenings. They're missing meals. They're not able to make it to their appointments. These are all things that a caregiver can help with.
That help can start with something as simple as finding out what benefits are owed to your veteran loved one.
One thing that's required to receive those benefits, you have to be part of the VA healthcare system. And so that's the first step in getting approved for the benefits. Once approved, then we can help you through the process to get the home care benefits.
Benefits to be used year-round, but especially right here at Veterans Day.
It's just a time to remember all those that sacrifice so much for us. It's time for us to give back and take care of them.
And a great program. Well, through her military service and breast cancer journey, our Navy veteran who we're highlighting today has taken on every life challenge with strong faith. This is her story and how she's inspiring other veterans to keep fighting.
Just when I felt or thought that, wow, this is it for me, God just showed up.
This is Luz Cervantes. In 1996, she served in the U.S. Navy. Born in Mexico, she moved to the U.S. when she was just 2 years old.
When we'd go back home, I'd see how my cousins lived, and I was just always so appreciative of this country. And when I graduated high school, I said, I'm going to serve.
But looking at Luz, you'd never know that she is a breast cancer survivor. She did 6 months of chemo. Now she's undergoing treatment to reconstruct her breasts.
I had my very first routine mammogram when I turned 40, and it came back normal. A few years passed by, the pandemic. I went through some personal struggles that just kind of made me neglect my health a little bit more. And when I finally went back for a routine mammogram at 44, I was surprisingly told that there was something unusual about the mammogram.
The CDC says that breast cancer is the second most common cancer in all women, but up to 40% higher in women veterans and service members.
Within less than a week, I had the biopsy and got the diagnosis that I was HER2 positive, and I actually had 4 different lumps in my right breast.
Dr. Parisi is a doctor at the VA Women's Health Center. She says that she sees so much strength in her patients.
There are characteristics that our patients exemplify that speaks to both their military background as well as to their characteristics as a breast cancer survivor. I think Luz is amazing. She's an amazing patient. She really exemplifies many of the patients that we have who've had a great experience in the process from start to finish, from diagnosis to treatment to being on the other side of treatment.
As for Luz, her breast cancer journey may not be over yet, but she's focused on appreciating the little things.
Eventually the hair grows back. She feels a little better. Every day a reminder that God never left her. Should you ever find yourself fighting this battle, don't give up, have faith. Remember, God makes dry bones rattle. He is in charge. He has the last word. Find peace in knowing your silent prayers are being heard. Look around you. Your sisters are here. Let's support each other until breast cancer disappears.
And that was CW39's Kara Willis with that incredible story. And coming up, we're going to give special shout outs to the veterans in your life and community. You're watching Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve here on CW39 Houston.
Veterans Voices, presented by these fine sponsors.
Are you 65 or older and wondering which Medicare plan best fits your needs and your budget? Then make the wise call right now by calling Cigna Healthcare at 855-721-1595. Looking for low monthly premiums? With Medicare Advantage from Cigna Healthcare, they're as low as $0. It doesn't get more affordable than that. Speaking of affordable, copays for many prescription drugs are as low as $0 too. And preventive care? You guessed it, $0. You can even increase your Social Security check with a plan that helps cover your Part B premium. And here's a bonus. Call now and you'll receive our free Medicare Advantage Decision Guide. It includes a benefit summary, questions to ask before choosing a plan, and more. There's no obligation to enroll. With Medicare Advantage from Cigna Healthcare, you'll enjoy all-in-one coverage, combining Part A, Part B, and often Part D into one simple, easy-to-understand plan. Plus, you'll enjoy lots of additional benefits, like coverage for preventive and comprehensive dental services, as well as vision and hearing. And here's some additional peace of mind. You'll have access to a quality network of doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. You'll also receive a Cigna Healthy Today card, a preloaded spending card that gives you easy access to select benefits, like an over-the-counter allowance. We even make it rewarding for staying well, with incentives for engaging in healthy activities like yearly checkups. Whether you're a Medicare rookie or looking to switch plans, it's easy to see how much you get with Medicare Advantage from Cigna Healthcare. So call 855-721-1595 now. You'll speak with a Cigna Healthcare licensed agent who'll help you choose the plan that's right for you. And you'll get your free no-obligation Medicare Advantage Decision Guide. Don't delay. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Call 855-721-1595.
There's one military serviceman who's the only chief warrant officer here in the state of Texas with a CW05 ranking. His name, Jose Alvarez. He'll be retiring next year with this historic rank, and we want to thank Chief Alvarez for his service, his commitment to this country and community, and his entire family. And before we go, we want to give a big special shout out to all of those veterans out there within the Houston area.
Over the past few weeks, we've asked you to send in pictures of the veterans in your life. And let me tell you, the response has been incredible.
That's true. Let's start with Roger DuPaw, U.S. Army. And then you have Cody and Patrick Garcia, also U.S. Army.
Some strapping lads there. Yes. We also have Vicky Jerrigan, U.S. Navy commander, and also Corporal Arthur Jackson, who was in the Marine Corps.
And don't forget Sergeant Jeff McComb, U.S. Army, and Wayne McGinnis, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant.
Not to be outdone, you have Tasha Ramey. She was a member of the U.S. Army. We also have Luis Gomez from the U.S. Navy.
And then we have Jaime Jose Cherel, U.S. Navy. And then we have Leland Carpenter, U.S. Army.
Then we have Sergeant Samuel McCreary Jr., who has a nice graphic there. And then we also have Sharon Caples McDougal, who is in the Air Force.
And don't leave out First Sergeant Willie D. Booker, U.S. Army. And Roberta Hill, look at that. Women's Army Corps. That is incredible.
I believe she checked out of the military in 1954. What a great story there.
See, that's why we love our veterans, everyone. You can check out this year's Veterans Voices special and other specials on our website, cw39.com/specials, because there's so much going on that we love.
Right.
And now, this actually brings an end to our 2024 Veterans Voices special.
We're so happy that you joined us, and we hope the stories, all the memories, the insights have left you feeling inspired and grateful for the sacrifices made by our veterans.
You know, I mean, the courage that they have, the courage your grandfathers had, the courage my grandfather and my uncles and my father had was so just extraordinary.
Right.
Because of them and the sacrifices that they made on the battlefield and beyond, we are here today to be able to live the lives that we live. And I don't think it would be possible without what they did and the sacrifices they made.
And so many of us are not just brave enough to even sign the paper going into the armed forces. It seems too dangerous or just too scary out there. They put that aside. They signed up. They went through the brutal basic training. They did, and then they actually made it on the battlefield. And we thank them so much for everything they've done. And how many millions of people have served our country? It's hard to count.
That is true. And there are some in the military who were not honored when they came back. We talk about our World War I and II soldiers who were honored, and a number of others. Our Vietnam veterans weren't honored when they came back. So these are opportunities in which we want to share with you how much we believe in our veterans, how much we support them, and how much we want to remind them that they are not forgotten. Even though those wars are over, you're still in our hearts, our memories, our minds, and will forever be a part of this nation. And the sacrifices you made are because of us, and we are so thankful for all of that.
Definitely had some of the Vietnam guys and gals in that montage of pictures that we had there. It was good to see them getting some recognition. Hopefully it wasn't too bad when they came home. And of course, you do have The Greatest Generation 2 and World War II. I don't know if anyone watches those documentaries and whatnot. The battlefields, air, sea combat, just the tremendous battles that they had to go through, and there they are.
And so many have been also recognized in movies. You got Tuskegee Airmen and so many others, and this is part of history for you kids out there watching. Go look it up. It will change your mind, and when you see a veteran on the street, please just tell them thank you. Their courage continues to shape our world, and their voices will always be heard. So we want to thank all of you for tuning in, watching with us. Make sure you continue to honor their legacy and the hope that they continue to bring for all of us. It's been extraordinary, hasn't it?
It really has. Thank you, veterans, and happy Veterans Day.
All right, happy Veterans Day, everyone. Take care. And we're CW39 Houston. We'll see you again soon.